afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. Welcome to the internet's most sophisticated wrestling podcast, discussing the weekly aspects of it all, right here on
The Bald Monkeys Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to the Bald Monkeys podcast. Christopher's here with you. I got the Captain Chuckles, and welcome to our very special series where we kick things off with the very great Promise Braxton. Promise, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank
We're
you for
very
coming
excited.
on. Yeah.
Very excited to do
this. This is the first one in the series to kick off the Hell Hath No Fury show that Mission Pro is doing in September. So we are really excited to talk to all the ladies, but tonight we are really, really excited to talk to you and to find out a little bit more about you, and of course to talk about the show.
Of course, let's do it.
So we start everything from the beginning, just like everyone starts in the beginning. What was young Promise Braxton like?
I wasn't a bad kid, but I was very mischievous, I guess you could say.
That's another word for bad. I don't know. That's
I wasn't bad. It was just like I found ways to do things that were logical. Like if I wasn't allowed to touch something, I would kind of put something on my hand and touch it. Like, so technically I'm not touching it, but I wouldn't say I was a bad kid though.
always riding that fine line. I hear
yes,
you.
Exactly.
I did the same thing as a kid.
See, it's mischievous. It's not being bad.
I definitely delved a little bit. I'm not bad, but I definitely got in trouble for my fair share of things.
Definitely got in trouble. But I was a very creative kid. I like to draw. I was like basically one of those kids that grew up in the early 2000s. We didn't really have cell phones back in the day. I used to just, go to the coffee shop, ride bikes. I play outside a lot. I feel like that's where I had the most fun. And that's where I think my love of balance came in. And that's why I think wrestling was like a good choice for me.
Nice.
So wrestling in those early years of inspiration, when does wrestling first catch your eye?
I actually bought a pay-per-view on accident.
By accident? Like you hit the button? So that's that button thing again, right? You hit the button.
See? I knew what wrestling was from my dad. We used to watch it together. And like in the early 2000s, I was the youngest grandchild at the time. And so, back in the day, people had the Nintendo 64. And me being the youngest, see, I still have mine too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm mad I got rid of mine.
Being the youngest, there was 5 grandchildren. I was number 5. There's only 4 controllers. So, I never got a chance to play. So they say, go downstairs and watch TV. And I'm like, fine. And I'm scrolling through the channel. I say, oh, WWE. It said press B on the on the remote. So I pressed B. And it was, I think it's Survivor Series 2002. And it was like Trish Stratus versus Victoria. And I'm literally glued to the TV like this close. And like I was quiet, so nobody cared until the cable bill came back. It's like, oh, you bought the pay-per-view.
It was a button, you pushed it. They should know by now.
Seriously. But that's the first memory I have about wrestling.
Very cool. That's a fun one because I think you kind of stumbled upon it. Like It wasn't something that was pushed on you. It wasn't something that you were out there seeking because it was in your blood for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
You stumbled into it. Yeah. Or it found you. It found you.
Yes, sir.
It was like almost divine intervention at that moment. That
we're getting serious now.
Hey, they're cause and effect for everything.
Absolutely.
So Trish Stratus, Victoria on the screen. You're glued to the screen. Are those the wrestlers that really caught your eye and you continue to fall in love with? Who were you really into as a kid?
I mean, I like Victoria because I liked Victoria for the simple fact that she was kind of like the anti-diva, like the first anti-diva. Like, people think it's Paige, but Victoria was the person, like, who was, like, fighting Trish and Terry Reynolds, like, why do I have to be a blonde and pretty to win the championship? But my person was Gail Kim. That's still my person. Like, that was my person. Like, it was Gail Kim, huge Mickey James fan. Love Jazz, love Jacqueline. Those are the people that I followed. Then I got into, of course, the men. And I like Batista. That was my guy.
Ah, the animal. Okay.
That was my guy. Definitely my guy.
Did any one of those wrestlers make you wonder if you could actually do it? Like, did any one of those go, man, I want to be like them. I'm going to go try to do that.
It was more so Gail Kim, but then, like, I realized that that's not the style that I wanted to kind of, like, do. Because, like, lucha is very hard. And I feel like I can do it, but I would have to go to Mexico and actually get the proper steps and, tools to actually get there. But I actually, like, fell in love with, like, the Japanese style, the strong style, the hard-hitting style. And I don't know where I got that from, but it was just something that, like, I just liked the reaction. Like, when someone hits someone really, really hard, and it's just like, whoa, like. So that's what I like.
Punching a button instead of pushing the button.
Yes.
You were just punching everything.
Exactly.
And that's something that's definitely, you can see that sort of style when you wrestle in your matches. So it's nice to see that you had that love and that's what you're bringing into the ring. Now, you've been wrestling for roughly 4 years, if my research is correct.
I started training in June of 2016. I didn't have my first match until April of 2017.
Okay, good. So we don't have to fire the researcher yet.
Yeah.
Now, how did you decide, that you wanted to pursue it as, getting into the ring? Like, how did you choose the school that you were going to train at? Where did you train? What's the story with that?
I always knew I wanted to be a wrestler. I just didn't know when to do it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I knew college wasn't for me, and because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to be like one of those people to go to college, drop out, and have a $25,000 bill.
Smart.
So I just didn't know. And I'm like, you know what? I started just Googling wrestling schools. I'm like, this is something I've been passionate about for the last, 10, 12 years. Just let me see what it's about. So I actually Googled IWC. IWC was the first place that came up. And that's International Wrestling Cartel out of White Oak, Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. And I think it was an old email or a throwaway email. They never got back to me. And then I messaged. I'm sorry?
Dead email links. They're not going to get you anywhere.
I think that's what it was. It's just a dead email link. I didn't press send. It's no one's fault,
No. Fate.
Exactly. So then PWX was the only thing that popped up that was close to my area. And I messaged him, and his name was Jim Miller, and he's like, come down. And I'm just like, I got cold feet. Like, as soon as I sent the email, I got cold feet. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. And he just wouldn't leave me alone. It was like 2 months straight. He just wouldn't leave me alone. He's like, hey, good morning. When you coming down? Hey, good afternoon. Like, when you coming down? Hey, did you eat dinner? When you coming down? And I'm like, you know what? like, you know what? I'm going to come down. Like, and it was, I think everyone goes into like wrestling school expecting to see like the Bobby Lashley's, the Batista type of guys. And, I had Lee Moriarty, Duke Davis, Gannon Jones Jr., who are the main event right now. Christian noir,
Mhm.
and it was just like love at first sight. Like it was so much fun, and it all started from there.
It's awesome that even though you got cold feet, just now if he didn't keep persisting, would it have been just something that fell to the wayside, or would you have like said, no, I've waited too long. If he's not going to get back to me, I'll just find somebody else.
I think I would have done it eventually, but I think I would have been doing it now. You know, I think I would just be getting into it now.
Gotcha.
And I'm happy because I didn't like wait because, you know, in women's wrestling, you know, we don't really have that long like time frame, you know. So I started at 19. I'm 23 now, so I'm happy that I got that, you know, experience under my belt.
And in that time, you've had a name change. You started out in PWX as London Ali, and I really I love the story of why you chose the name London Ali, and it's London with a Y.
Yes.
And Ali referring to Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
So I briefly just go into like how you kind of came up with that moniker.
I grew up in an Islamic background. My grandfather and my grandmother on my father's side, they followed the whole like Malcolm X movement, Black Panther movement in like the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really big on just that culture, you know. Like my grandma is a ride or die like Muhammad Ali fan. And I wanted them to like incorporate that. But I didn't want to like, the name Tatiana was on the list. My real name, my name is Khadija. And that's also Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to go by that for the simple fact that people can't pronounce it. So Ali was just on the table, and I chose London because London is such a strong country. Well, it's England, but such a strong like country. But I wanted to be like unisex, so that's why the Y was there.
Gotcha. I like it.
Thank you.
Also over the time, and now you're Promise Braxton.
Yes.
That is what we're going. And your nickname is the Rebel Buddhist, correct? Kind of. Okay.
Yes.
You've had a couple through your career. You know, even though it's been a little bit short, you had the Exalted one. I liked personally the Buddhist Bruiser the best out of all the couple ones that I did see.
I didn't make that up. Someone
No?
gave that to me. It was just on the internet one day. Like,
hey, sometimes that's the best. All of a sudden, one day I came on with these schmoes with this podcast, and they called me Captain Chuckles. I don't even know. I'm not a captain. I don't know what's going on. I don't have a boat or anything. So that's your. Now, do you follow and practice in that in Buddhist ways or anything?
Yes and no. I'm very just what goes with the flow. I have my beliefs, but I really don't follow one religion. You know, I'm very just for the people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Black Lives Matter. I believe that immigration shouldn't be a thing. You know, I believe in the LGBTQ thing. You know, I believe that people should be able to do whatever they want if it makes them happy. You know, if it's not causing danger to anyone. And that's what the whole inspiration behind it is. It's just being your authentic self. Like if it makes you happy, but people don't like it, who cares? And that's just basically what it is. And that's the kind of religion I kind of stand for. Like even though that's not a religion, I believe in some type of higher power. Mm-hmm. And that's just it.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Like I meditate and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
Happiness, period. The religion of happiness.
It's true. We need more of that.
Exactly. You got it.
Absolutely.
People want to do it. They want to fight. And I don't do that.
Now, all of this is still happening kind of in Pennsylvania, correct? You're originally from Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And now you've kind of transitioned and now you are down in Texas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, down in Texas, you have teamed up with ROW, who is run by some guy, you know.
The man himself.
Yeah, exactly. If you
Some
don't
guy.
know out there,
Some guy.
Mr. Booker T. What kind of was that opportunity? What brought you down to Texas? Did you just kind of decide, hey, I'm going to go down there and see what happens? And how is it, I mean, being around such a legend like Booker T?
I was actually going to quit wrestling last year. I was very stagnant. I didn't know what direction to go. And it was in 2018, my mother and my stepfather with my younger siblings moved to Houston. And she's like, just come down here. You're not really doing much in Pittsburgh. Just come down here. And it was just like, you know what? Just give me a year and I'll do it. And I'm like, what's down there? And then I like Googled the school. And I'm like, wait, this is Booker T's place. And it's like an hour, 45 minutes away from your house. So I just felt like it was like an opportunity to give me a second chance. You know, I felt like if Booker T couldn't help me, then I was just a lost cause and I would quit. So I came down here and then things just worked out, you know. It was very, very difficult to go from, you know, the north to the south and just to adjust to like the people, the weather, just the culture of Texas.
Yeah.
But I'm finally settling in and it's been a blessing. But being around Booker T, I almost explode every time I see him. Like in my heart, I'm just like you're Booker T.
I feel when you see him, he's one of those guys that when you look at him, you don't want to piss him off because
not at all.
I feel like he could get really, really angry, but he always seems like he's just so happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
To me, at least.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely he's a very nice man. Very nice man. You know, I can ask him anything. You know, we had a show yesterday and, you know, I pulled him to the side and was like, hey, boy, can I have 5 minutes of your time? And he was like, no problem, you know, but there's just boundaries. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone has boundaries and someone like him, definitely has boundaries.
Now, you mentioned yesterday's show. You wrestled another lady who is going to be on the Mission Pro
the
card.
Pink Train herself.
Pink Train.
Alex Gracia.
Gracia.
I don't want to mess that up. How did the match go? How was it wrestling outside in like a drive-in setting?
I haven't wrestled outside in so long. And the first time I wrestled outside, I almost busted my mouth open. So so I don't really have the best experiences with the wrestling outside. But but it was cool. It was fun. You know, it was good to see everyone. You know, Row is like a close family. So like we haven't seen each other in so long. I haven't seen some of the girls, some of the trainees, some of the guys. So it was so fun to see those guys again. And, you know, everything worked out so well because it was a team effort. Everyone, you know, they worked their butts off. They all put their hand forward and we all did the job. And it was a great show. The fans were happy. And I guess that's all I can really ask for. If the fans are happy with it, then I guess I'm happy with it.
Yeah, exactly. Now tell everybody, did you kick her butt? Okay, no comment. No comment. No comment. Okay, that's fine. But it seems like the move to Texas was almost like fate intertwining again. You know, opportunities not happening in one spot, and let's change the scenery. And magically, like everything has been working out really well. It seems like.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of hard work. You know, I had to sacrifice a lot. You know, I left a really good job, you know, I basically left my apartment, almost left everything. But, you know, I have a lot of faith in this sport. I have a lot of faith in myself. And I feel like that's the reason why it has worked out and it will work out in some way or another.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's talk about opportunities and things working out, because Mission Pro Wrestling, it just seems like a great opportunity. We got a great event coming up. How did that come about? How did that opportunity come about for you?
It was right after the speaking out movement that happened on Twitter and Facebook. And Thunder Rosa just announced that, hey, she wants to start her own show. So, like, I looked at it and I was just like, hey, that'd be pretty cool to get on. And I didn't really think about it, you know. And then it was like a couple like days later, Black Diamond messaged me. And I'm just like, what? Like, you want me on the show? You know, it's such an honor because, like, you know, Texas has a lot of great female talent. You know, Houston, you got what? AQA, Alex Gracia, Rachel Rose, you got the girls in Laredo, you got Roxy, then you got the like San Antonio chicks, Baby D and Maddie. So there's a lot of great talent. So for me to be here less than a year and I'm already on that like table, I was so honored.
That's awesome.
How much does it mean to you to be part of a promotion that's all women?
It means the world to me. I've always wanted to be a part of a roster like this. And then there's so many opportunities to grow, you know, like in being under, to me, I never cared to be like match 1 or match 10, you know. It's because I know if I'm in there with a great opponent, I'm going to learn. I'm going to take something from this match. And you got all these great girls. I can only get better from here. So it's a blessing. I'm very, very grateful.
It's an amazing opportunity, and it's an amazing idea. I think that came out of something that was very hard to go through, I think, for a lot of people, but a great positive that we're coming out of. And I hope that it just grows and gets bigger and bigger. We're very excited about it. And we see more and more promotions, you know, pushing this kind of card going forward, which, I mean, we're just enjoying the heck out of it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Agreed.
So let's talk about your match. Let's talk about you teaming up, you know, with Killer Kate and taking on the arch
You've
nemesis.
had some friendly matches against her.
We were confused by this. We're like, wait a second. We're pretty sure they're supposed to, like, we were expecting maybe you guys to fight each other, not to tag team. So how did that come about, and what do you have in store for your opponents?
I don't know. I feel like Kate needs to behave. So I really can't tell you the plan. Because it could be a fatal 4-way match if she doesn't behave.
Oh.
As long as you get the pin, you win.
Yeah.
Exactly. I win.
Well, we're excited for that match. And amongst the other things on the card, it's great to have a good tag team match. I love tag team wrestling, so I look forward to that match especially.
Me too. Thank you.
So let's talk about this promotion, this event, everything coming forward. You've gone through a lot. You've been kind of wondering if you're going to continue, wondering what you should do going forward. How do you stay motivated? How do you keep yourself positive and motivated going into a career of professional wrestling?
I've never wanted to spend my life of what if. You know, I have a lot of people in my family who never lived up to their full potential because, you know, they got lazy, or if it was with drugs or, you know, alcohol abuse. And it's just like, I never wanted that for myself. You know, if I suck, I suck. And it's like, I can say I suck, you know. I'd rather say I sucked than I didn't try. So that's just the motivation. Like, if I suck, cool. But if I don't try, you just don't know. You know, if you don't try, the answer is always no. But
that's
if you,
a great way to look at it, yeah.
Like, if you put the effort in, it can be a yes. So that's more so the motivation. It's just to try.
And it's gotten you this far, and it's an interesting road that you've been on. You've obviously, you know, been in two very different landscapes in the north, and then now down into. Can't imagine wrestling outside in Houston. That just seems
what
like.
Was the temperature like?
Oh, I thought I was gonna die. Like, I thought I was gonna die. Like, even just putting up the ring, I'm like, oh my god! Like, literally, like right before the match, I had a Diet Coke and a water, and I'm just like this. Let's just go.
Sugar,
double
hydration.
Yeah,
sugar, hydration.
Back and forth. Like, I was so hot, and then like. I'm just like sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God, like it's so hot. Like, I'm so happy I have my hair pinned up at the top. So I'm like, I couldn't do it. It's
I
way
can't
too
even
hot.
imagine. I'm a fat guy and I go outside when it's 85 degrees, 90 degrees, just walking across the street to get my dang mail. And I'm like, shit, it's hot out here, man. I can't wait to get back inside.
I mean, you have the little beard going on, so like it's pretty hot to have this on in the summer. I'm pretty sure.
See, a lot of people say that and think that, but I don't really think that. Like,
really?
It doesn't. I don't really think it adds any extra like heat or warmth on me.
What?
I really don't. Like I've had it. I've had it short. I've had it long. I've had it a little bit longer than this. I've had a goatee with the mustache and everything. I'm just hot. I'm always just so warm. And like I could be like, I mean, I have no hair. It's the bald monkeys. I am bald. Like even if my face was completely shaved, I'd still be hot as hell.
You haven't been to Pennsylvania?
I live in Pennsylvania.
You live in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
What?
Yep.
You're not cold in the winter?
No.
What?
I love the cold. I grew up in New York. I moved to Connecticut, and now I live in central Pennsylvania, like a half hour south of Hershey. So.
And you're not cold in the winter?
No, I love the winter. The winter is my
like a
jam.
bear.
We are best friends, me and winter.
I can't believe this. It's like disrespectful, like cold in Pennsylvania in the wintertime. It's like you open your door, you're just like, I don't care if I get fired. Like I'm not going outside.
I think it really depends like where you are in PA, because like farther out, I always feel like the western side of the state always gets more snow.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, like I mean, I've been here going on 4 years now. We've had like 2 bad snowstorms, for Pennsylvania definition, and like compared to like what I had in Connecticut, I mean it's like nothing. And I just like where we are, it's like a little valley, so it seems like everything just goes around us. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's still cold, but not as much snow.
Cold. I don't even have a coat anymore. I'm bougie.
Bougie.
I'm bougie now.
So we got a new question. We've never asked a guest this question yet, and we've talked about it, and we wanted to mix things up a little bit. So, what would you tell your 10-year-old self if you had a conversation with your 10-year-old self? What would you want to tell yourself?
I would tell myself to stay lit, like enjoy yourself. You know, don't let anybody tell you that you're not cool. You know, like I don't know. Just be yourself. Like, don't try to fit in. Who cares? Those people suck anyway. Like, just be yourself. Just be cool. Follow your dreams. And I think my 10-year-old self listened to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
For the first time that we asked this question, I like that answer.
Everyone has to follow that now. Everyone has to follow
now
that.
you have to beat that answer.
Good
so
luck.
Go ahead, everybody else that we asked that question to. We talked a whole lot about wrestling. We talked a little bit about cold weather and warm weather and living in Pennsylvania. Now, what do you like to do outside of the wrestling ring? What do you like to do on a warm Saturday that you're not wrestling down in Texas?
I like to work out. I like to work out because I don't like to go to therapy or anything like that. So it just relieves all my stress. And I like reading wrestling books. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. Like my homeboy up at Row before he went to the military, he gave me like a crap load of like wrestling books from the NWA, the Rise and Fall of ECW, just a whole bunch of stuff. The Mick Foley books.
Oh, nice.
It's just like a whole bunch. And it's just like I love learning about the things that happened to like get to the things that we're on now. Because a lot of people don't know how WWE became, WWE. So I just like learning about the history and the people that kind of like the forgotten wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Like the midgets and Mildred Burke and, Sweet Georgia Brown and Milani Kai. Like there's a lot of people that no one knows about. And I would love to kind of just, say their name and reference them so people can be like, let me Google them.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they deserve to have a little bit of recognition too.
My dad, for one Christmas, we're talking that this is at least like 10 years ago, got me like a WWE book of, I don't know if it was like the encyclopedia of wrestlers up to that point in time. I don't even know if I still have it, but I know, like, looking through that, my dad was a wrestling fan, and that's how I got into it, was from him taking me to Madison Square Garden. And like, we're both, he and I'm an adult, you know, he's an adult, of course, you know, we're looking through this book and he's like, oh man, did you ever see like so-and-so wrestle? And I'm like, maybe in like a 3-second black and white clip, like along the way somewhere. But yeah, looking at the history and just seeing all that stuff is awesome. I love it.
It is. It really is.
Tattoos. You enjoy getting some tattoos. I've seen a little bit of ink on the hand there, I believe.
I have a little bit. I have 1 or 2 tattoos, you know.
What? I don't have any tattoos. My wife has a bunch. She is always urging me. I'm such a weenie. My question, does it really hurt?
It depends. It really depends. Like the ones on my upper arm, I was fine. Like on my forearm and stuff, I was fine. But my hand, I don't think I would ever get another hand tattoo.
Ooh.
They're not even on my fingers, if you can see that.
Yeah.
But my fingers were like twitching so bad. Like the tip of my fingers went numb.
Oh,
like,
that's not good.
Like like my arm and like all up here was like twitching. I would never get another hand tattoo again. It was bad. Like it hurt so bad. But this was the last tattoo I got before I left Pennsylvania.
Nice. I like it.
Thank you.
Now you are also eating a little bit more vegan and vegetarian. Kind of.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm more so vegetarian than vegan. There's just certain things I just like, you know, like I'm human. Like I like cheese and I like eggs. Like like most of us.
This guy loves cheese. He loves cheese.
I love cheese.
Can't wait. Like nachos are for everybody, you know. So, but I definitely eat a lot of plants. I'm a broccoli fanatic.
Oh.
I could eat broccoli all day.
See, and right there, broccoli and cheese soup. That's like perfect.
I actually hate soup.
Oh!
I hate soup.
Christopher was just having soup today.
Promise, no.
I'm sorry. I hate
Because you know soup's wonderful.
I don't like soup.
You're having the wrong soup. It's just got to be the wrong soup.
I just don't like soup. It's just like hot, like it's like oatmeal for dinner. Like I just don't like it. Like it's just like.
Like, breakfast for dinner. It's okay.
But it's oatmeal. Like I don't like oatmeal. It's like chicken oatmeal for dinner. Like I don't like it. Like.
Oh man. But there's so many different kinds of soup, like Chuck said. Like there's the broccoli and cheese soup, and like the ones that are more like chowder or thicker. Then you got the thinner soup, or you can get into like the ramen. Ramens are amazing.
You're talking to two foodies here, but I don't think
right.
I don't think we're gonna.
We're gonna get you some soup.
There you go.
We're gonna figure this out. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I'm pretty sure we found a ramen place in Houston, didn't we?
Yes, we did when we were down there for the Rumble.
We got you hooked up. We're good. We'll figure this out.
Ramen?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Well, we know your favorite vegetable is broccoli. One of them is broccoli.
Yes.
So, what is your favorite music to listen to?
I like everything. Like that's weird.
I like that answer.
Like I like everything. Like there's days where like I just feel like sad and depressed. So I just listen to like sad R&B to make me feel even worse. But like there's times but there's times where like I just want to get crazy, listen to like Attack or you know The Word Alive, or there's times where I want to listen to Taylor Swift and hate on all my ex-boyfriends. Like it just depends on how I feel. No
Taylor Swift ever.
You don't like Taylor Swift? She's so good together.
I don't like her. If you learn one thing about me during this half hour, 45-minute hour podcast, I am a very odd individual.
You like soup, but you don't like Taylor Swift.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Taylor Swift is his soup.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Oh man.
You mentioned reading. You mentioned, kind of being a bit of a historian. Is there a favorite book? And it doesn't have to be one of those wrestling books. Do you have a favorite like go-to book you've ever read?
I actually have, but I forget what it's called. It's like the history of women's wrestling.
Okay.
That came out in like 2016.
That
It has like Sasha Banks and like Moolah and like in Charlotte on the cover of it.
it had a couple of different authors on it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And I think it was great because it was a lot of girls from like the Mae Young Classic that a lot of people didn't know, but like you just know like the basic of them. Like Mercedes Martinez. People are like, oh my gosh, this new women's wrestler is so great. Just like this woman's a 20-year veteran.
She's not
like, like she's not a new wrestler. Even like Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai's been wrestling since like 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Then the whole Mildred Burke thing and getting into like kind of her dark past of her first husband and how they led the women's wrestlers in like the 40s, and they did some pretty shady stuff to them. But I was talking to my roommate. My roommate is actually Danny B, and we were just talking about like wrestling in general. I'm like, you gotta respect those women. People, a lot of them, ate crap and sacrificed a lot for for this show.
Yep.
Because without them doing that, this wouldn't be a thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, you've been on the road. You went from Pennsylvania to Texas. You got to have some good road stories about traveling around with some of the independents around in the Pennsylvania Northeast area. What's your funniest or most favorite story that you might have?
That you could tell us.
Yeah, let me think of something that's PG.
PG-13's okay.
We can go PG-13.
You can go PG-13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. Oh, okay. There's a promotion in Ohio. I'm not sure if it's Cleveland or Toledo, but it's called Mega Championship Wrestling. And the IWC people and the PWX people, we all used to hang out and go to like Premier Championship Wrestling in Cleveland. And there was the one day, me and my friend, his name is Christian Noir, and we were driving back from a show, and he looks at me, he gets real close to the wheel like this, and he gets real back, and he gets close again, and goes back, and he goes.
I love that we have the visual.
And he goes, London, do you see that monster? Pull over. We're not about to die today. Like, not today. He's like, no, seriously. Like, he's like, there's something in the road. I'm like, it's a truck. You need to slow down. And he's like, no. I'm like, dude, pull over. Seriously. And he's just like, but it's my car. It's my new car. I want to drive it. And I'm like, dude, you're going to kill us both. Like, my mom expects me to be home right now. And he just like, no, I'm going to drive. I'm like, dude, pull over. And then it took for him to see eyes on the truck for him to pull over.
Oh, my.
Sleep deprivation is a really tough thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've heard about that before.
I once saw a dragon when I was driving on 95 from Georgia to New York when we were we drove up for, what event was it, Chuck? It was the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden.
Royal Rumble.
We left the morning to get there for the Royal Rumble, and when the Rumble was over, we left to go back.
Whoa.
And on the way back,
12 hours?
Yeah, 12 hours. And the 12-hour drive back, I saw a dragon.
You see some all the time. You see some all the time. I'm pretty sure I've seen skinwalkers, wendigos, like headless horsemen. Like some of the things, I'm just like, you know what? I just mind my business, though. I feel like they won't do anything if you mind your business.
Yeah, don't make eye contact. You're fine.
It's Headless Horseman. I have a friend that lives in a town right next to Sleepy Hollow, New York.
Oh, no. Not for me. Not for me.
Nope.
No.
What about movies? Everybody loves movies. Everybody likes to, veg out sometimes. What would be your favorite movie?
I like classic horror.
Okay.
Like, my favorite movie of all time is Carrie from 1976.
Nice.
Taking it back.
Wow. I did not expect that.
I did not either.
Yeah.
Really?
I could get with the horror part, but definitely not. I mean, being of the younger generation, I would definitely have not have picked like something from back then as one of your favorites, but that's awesome.
I got it for my 17th birthday. I think I watched it every day for a whole year. Like, to the point where my mom's like, please, I'm about to turn this cable off. If you don't turn this DVD off, please. I'm just like, one more time. Like, I don't know. It just excites me. Like, it's just a great movie. I think the difference between, like, the older, like, horror movies and the classic, and the newer movies is because now we work on, like, animation and sound effects. And back in the day, it was just acting.
Yep.
When she's in the shower and she gets her period, her reaction is so real. Like, I don't know what this is. What is what is happening to my body? And she freaks out. And it's just like, as a woman, if my mom has never taught me what that was, I'd probably freak out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that movie.
What did you think about the new version of it?
And I feel like they did their best, but
I would agree with that statement.
I feel like Chloe, if I'm saying, is Chloe like Montez or am I saying that right? I'm not sure, but I feel like she's too pretty. And I'm not calling the first original Carrie was Sissy Spacek. Not calling her like unattractive, but she looked like a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like Chloe's just kind of too pretty in the face. They needed someone that kind of looked kind of like sad and depressed. So I feel like they lost the ball with that one clip.
I agree, 100%.
Really?
I mean, it's true. Characters make or break the movies or TV shows.
Absolutely.
Favorite opponent that you have faced thus far in your career?
I would say my arch nemesis, Miss Killer Kate. I would say Kate.
Okay. Now, Kate, when you watch this, and we hope you do, come on, just be on the same team for one night. Just one night. Just so you guys can win.
Or just get out of the way.
Yeah. Fatal four way.
Yeah. All right, so we got your favorite opponent. What about a dream match? No promotion problems. You could go and take on any wrestler you want. Who would it be?
Deonna Purrazzo. I feel like, and I followed her career since I started wrestling, and the things that she can do, it's just like, it blows my mind. Like, some of the reversals and the quick snatches are just like, girl, like, you had to, like, it's like a magician in the ring. And I love watching her. She's exciting. She's quick. I love her. If I had an opportunity to wrestle her, I'll do it for free. That's how bad I want to wrestle her.
It's out there now. It's out there.
No, don't throw me on that. Give me $10.
Free-ish.
$10. Free-ish. Free-ish. Okay.
Maybe a bowl of soup. Maybe we'll just get you a bowl of soup.
No, I said Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle. I'm sorry. Chipotle.
Chipotle. Cover my Chipotle.
Drink included. Drink included.
Again, I am not a Chipotle fan.
You're weird.
I am. Dude, I would rather go to a regular, like, Mexican type restaurant, or I have a Qdoba. I don't know if everybody has those wherever they all are, but I love the Qdoba right around the corner for me. I think it's much better than Chipotle.
I think that's a PA thing. I only had it once.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much around here. Like, they don't have sheets down here, and it kills my spirit.
Oh.
I got a Rudders.
Yeah,
I got a Rudders down one direction of me, and I got a Sheets down the other direction of me. So I'm all good with the gas station goodies right there.
Yeah, like I don't have that luxury right now. We get Whataburger.
Well,
It's not the same.
no, but
It's not the same.
it's something.
It's like McDonald's with like that got like silver spoons. Like it's just not the same.
Yeah.
More vegetables. a few more vegetables on the burger. That's all it really is.
Exactly. I mean, it's fancier. They take their time to lay it out, but it's just not cheats.
No.
Even Wawa's, like they don't even have that up here.
Oh man,
those are
Wawa's.
3 awesome.
You can live off of Wawa.
Yeah, people that don't have those, I feel sorry for you. It's not the same.
It's not the same at all.
But speaking of goodies and something that you could easily pick up in any Wawa, Sheetz, or Rudders, or wherever you want to go, your local grocery store, it's the final question. We ask everybody this question. It's an important question.
It's very important.
Oreo cookies.
All right.
Are you a classic single stuff Oreo girl, or the more fantastic, the even better, the double stuff Oreos?
I feel like if you get the classic Oreos, when there's the option to get the double, you're a serial killer. Like why would you, like, there's an opportunity to get like the platinum Oreo. Like, why would you not get the platinum Oreo? It just doesn't make sense. It's double stuffed. Totally.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. We don't even have to say anything else. We can just end it right now. That was perfect.
That's it.
That
That's
is
great.
the correct. That is the correct answer.
I was concerned
sir.
about the soup situation, but I'm less concerned now because the cookie question nailed it.
We good now?
We good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still gonna get you some ramen, but we're good. Well, Promise, we had a great time. It was great to learn a little bit more about you. Why don't you tell the folks what's coming up, obviously, with Mission Pro, and where they can find you and how they can go out and support what you're working on right now.
All right, guys, make sure you check out Mission Pro, September 18th, 2020 in Texas. It will be me, Killer Kate, versus Burt Vixen and the Karate Queen, Jenna Lynn. Make sure you check it out. Check out my Twitter at Braxton Promise, my Facebook at Promise Braxton, and my Instagram at Promise_Braxton.
Perfect.
There it is.
No, I say boo in this interview. And no offense, but if we talk to anybody on the other team, I'm going to go yay to them just because I don't want anybody coming up to Pennsylvania to kick my ass. I am literally afraid of all 4 women in that tag match.
You should be.
I am.
Rightfully so. Well, we appreciate the time. We're so excited about this event. We are so excited to be helping out and promoting it. We'll get out there, everyone. Go follow Promise. Go follow Mission Pro. Chuck will have everybody you can follow at the end of this interview and all the interviews in this series. Of course, go follow us on YouTube. Go subscribe. Go hit us up on WrestleJoy. Go find us on Twitter and come talk to us. Come talk wrestling. So
if you can't go to the show in person in Texas, go watch it on Title Match. I'll have that in the credits too. Just go watch it because it's going to be a fire of a card. It is awesome.
Super excited. Maybe we'll even give one away. Maybe we can maybe do a giveaway for some lucky viewer. So we'll see.
We can do that.
Stay tuned.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for joining us, Promise. Yes, definitely had a really good time talking.
Had a blast.
Thank you.
Check us out next time.
Bye-bye.
You can follow Promise on Twitter at Braxton Promise, on Facebook at Promise Braxton, and on Instagram at Promise_Braxton. Catch Hell Hath No Fury, presented by Mission Pro Wrestling, Friday, September 18th. The show's in Buda, Texas. Bell time is 7:30 p.m. Streaming information can be found at TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com. And for all the up-to-date information on the show and Mission Pro, check out MissionProWrestling.net. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Bald Monkeys. You can also check out our interviews on WrestleJoy.com. Make sure to subscribe on our YouTube page to watch our previous interviews or our roundtable discussions. Just search for The Bald Monkeys. Watch us live on our new Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TheBaldMonkeys. And finally, listen to the Bald Monkeys podcast on Apple iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.